Hey guys, today's video is so long overdue, but I'm going to be doing a review and demo of a couple of Rouge Bunny Rouge products. I had mentioned these briefly in favorites. I think I received them, or I finally got a hold of them rather, about midway through last month, maybe actually closer to the end. Yeah, closer to the end. I wanted to play with them. I really wanted to give you guys a first impressions, but I was like, I know nothing about these, and I just would hate to have given the product a bad reputation based on my initial findings if I didn't know how to use the product. So I really wanted to give this some serious testing out. So I've been really using it religiously for the past month or so, and I have a whole lot to tell you guys. So I'm going to be reviewing the Prelude in the Clouds Aqua Primer, as well as the Almond Milk Parfait Liquid Foundation. Almond Milk Parfait is actually the color, as well as the Sea of Tranquility Highlighting Liquid. So I have been using these in conjunction with each other. I find for me that is how they work best. If you're here for the Cliff Notes version, you gotta get on your high horse. I feel you, girl. Bottom line, I really like these in conjunction with one another. And I'm really enjoying the result that I get, but I do have a lot to tell you guys about them. So if you have a couple more minutes, make sure to stick around. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about the primer. This Prelude in the Clouds Aqua Primer I have used under other foundations. I do find that it adds a bit of a smoother texture to my skin, so I find the foundation just glides on easier. The primer in itself, you know how sometimes you can put on a primer and your face just looks boom, flawless, airbrushed, your pores are gone, you have less redness, that kind of thing. This is not going to provide that. However, it is going to make your makeup go on beautifully. It is just a clear liquid. I find it's very hydrating, and one pump covers my entire face, so obviously this is a very generously sized bottle. Then we have the foundation. The foundation is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, and it's the main reason I didn't wind up doing a first impressions. I was planning on filming one. I was mid through filming and I was like, no, there's just no way. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but if I pump this out, it's not a liquid. If I go like this, you know how most liquid foundations will start to drip down your hand, even at the slightest pull? This is not liquid. It is a mousse texture foundation. However, I really like the concept that it is in this little glass bottle and it has a pump. This foundation, I'm going to say a lot more in the demo, but I find that this is a light to light medium sort of foundation in terms of coverage. I got the color Almond Milk Parfait, by the way, perfect match, very yellow in its undertones, matches my skin nicely without being too dark or too fair. So right now in my weird natural summer tan, it's perfect. We have the highlighting liquid. I have used highlighting liquids in the past, such as the Gerard Illuminating BB Cream, which is supposed to just add so much luminosity to your skin. You're supposed to use it in conjunction with other products. I have not used this with the foundation or with any other foundation. I have used it as a spot highlight. And again, you guys will see it in the demo, but I cannot sing this product's praises enough. It is very thin, very liquidy, very easy to apply and blend out. It can be pigmented, you can be a disco ball, or you can have a very slight, subtle sheen. It's actually quite hard to overdo this because it does look very natural, but you can, as with pretty much any other makeup product, overdo it if you just keep slathering on layer after layer. That's kind of my initial overview for you guys. And I want to jump into the demo so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about, and then we'll be right back for a few more thoughts on it. I'm going to start off today with the Rouge Bunny Rouge Prelude in the Clouds Aqua Primer. And this is just a primer that I have found really works well, which is why I am demoing it in conjunction with everything else today. I find that one pump is usually more than enough. So I basically will just take this and dot it mostly on the center of my face. I also find it really works nicely under the eyes, so I'm going to put a bit under there as well. It's had a bit of time to set into the skin, so I'm going to go in with the Rouge Bunny Rouge Almond Milk Parfait Liquid Foundation. I'm not sure if that is the technical name of this. Make sure to check the bottom bar because I always write out everything completely and totally proper or perfect the way it is named on the website or whatever. But this is just in the color, again, Almond Milk Parfait, and it leans quite yellow. And actually, I'm really surprised what a good match this is for my skin tone. So there is one pump. I think I might need 2 pumps, but playing around with this, I usually do it a pump at a time. Sometimes I have different results depending on how bad my skin is that day. I'm experiencing quite a lot of breaking out right now, so I might need a little bit extra. I'll be using my Real Techniques Expert Face Sponge just to start to dab this into the skin. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you can tell, but I feel like this foundation almost just melts into your skin. I feel like I see a slightly more evened out complexion looking in the mirror right now, but it doesn't look like I have foundation on. Here's how one very, very, very small pump of that foundation covered my whole face. So basically what I'm going to do is do layer numero dos. So we're going to do another pump. I'm just basically going to put it in the exact same spots on my face. Here is layer number 2. So I think that you definitely hide a bit more redness with layer number 2. However, I'm looking at my skin and it doesn't look like I have a ton of foundation on. I do feel like these areas are starting to be covered areas, like right over here where I have a lot of scarring. I hope you guys can see that really well. I tried really hard to get the lighting to where this wasn't so overexposed you couldn't see areas like my hyperpigmentation and everything like that. So if you're wondering why the lighting is a touch darker, that is why. But I feel like areas where I have hyperpigmentation certainly are not covered, but at the same time, redness is taken out. It looks very, very natural on the skin. I feel like looking at myself, I look like a better version of me, but I still feel like it looks very, very natural. I'm gonna go ahead and do my concealer because I do that with every foundation I work with, and I will be right back. Here's where we're at post-concealer. So I definitely think my concealer does a really nice job at covering up any sort of acne scars whatsoever, any sort of hyperpigmentation. Sorry, I'm like totally blocking your view, but I think if you're looking for a fuller coverage, a concealer is necessary with this foundation for sure. I did not powder off, and I only did my highlighter under the eyes today because we're going to be using the Rouge Bunny Rouge once again, Sea of Tranquility highlighting liquid. I've only played around with this once, but I knew last time the entire pump was way too much for my face. Maybe if I was mixing it in with my foundation, but I'm spot highlighting with this. So basically I'm going to get the smallest amount. Yeah, that's going to be way too much, and that was like half a pump. So I wish that maybe this had a slightly different format from the others. However, it's a very generously sized product, so I really cannot complain about like the packaging, or I mean, look at it. I cannot complain about the packaging or anything like that. So I am going to take it on my finger, and this is my favorite way to use this product. I actually have not tried it mixed into my foundation yet, but I like to take it on my finger and basically drag it in the area I would normally highlight. So in this little C on my temple, and then I'll bring it down onto my cheek. So here is the highlighted side. Here is the non-highlighted side. I definitely think that this is a beautiful, beautiful highlighting liquid. Very natural and luminous on the skin. And what I really like about it is, I'll show you when I powder, it shows through powder. Like when I straight up powder my face on top of it, it doesn't even matter. It'll just shine right on through. I'm also going to take a touch on that bridge of the nose. And of course, a little teensy tiny baby bit above the cupid's bow. But that is it for this demo. So I am going to zoom you in so you can get a really close look at everything. I'm going to powder everything off. For now, however, this is the foundation in all of its kind of glory, I guess you could say. And this is the way that it looks powdered off. So obviously I am going to go and finish my makeup, and I will be right back to talk to you guys a little bit more about it. all of my review videos, I always ask you guys, who is this good for? Who can I recommend this to? But I want to make sure that just because I'm sitting here giving this, you know, an A++++, you know, I don't want you to go and get it just because I like it. I want you to feel like it's going to be suited to your skin type, your skin texture, whatever. So let's start off with the primer. Actually, I was picking up the foundation, but I'm all over the place. I think that this is a very universal primer. I find it's very hydrating on my skin. Certainly I have to wear, you know, a moisturizer underneath. I find it truly does prolong the wear of my makeup. Any foundation I put over it for that matter. It is, again, very hydrating. It doesn't have that silicone feeling that a lot of primers can get. I give this product an A+, simply because I really like it. I like how it performs on my skin, and I like the way that it prolongs the wear of my makeup. The foundation is easily the trickiest, because for me, this is such a standout product because I love the formula, I love the texture, I love that it feels so nice and hydrating and smooth and lovely on my poor dry skin. But I can see where some people would get frustrated with this because it's not very buildable. You can pretty much go from that very light, barely there consistency to a light medium coverage. For someone like me who has hyperpigmentation and acne scars, and you don't need a full face of makeup because you have clear skin, except for a couple of problem areas, such as for me, for my cheeks, I can just cover those with concealer. And then this foundation feels very hydrating, very lightweight. I don't feel like I'm cake-faced. For me, this lasts about 6 hours before I notice slight fading. Over the primer, I notice absolutely no fading issues whatsoever. Also, the fading thing was sans powder, and also no concealer whatsoever. So that was through like an average summer day for me. It started to fade and look a little bit, I started to look a little bit red in some areas when I was combining it with no other products. When I'm combining it with my other face things like my powder, my concealer, my primer, whatever, it has no issues with lasting. So for me, for my skin type, for what I like this for, this is another A+ product, and I think you're going to find that across the board with these, because I think it's very universal and unique, and I think for someone with dry skin, abso-freaking-lutely. For someone who wants something very natural and lightweight, but also somewhat universal in the sense that you can wear it almost as like a BB cream type product, and then basically translate it into a full coverage foundation by using more concealers or powders or whatever, absolutely. If you want a glammed up full face, you're going on TV in 2 hours, no. I do find it looks very lovely on camera, but no, I don't think that this is going to be a full coverage foundation for someone who wants that. Lastly, the illuminating liquid. I don't have a whole lot to say on this except that I find it's very, very good. I said before, I have a little bit of trouble with the packaging. It's still so lovely. I love the packaging on all of these. In case you did not know, hello, the freaking pump thing is amazeballs, and then the like glass bottle is amazing. Feels very luxurious, very high-end. This is fantastic if you love your highlights, because I think that you can put it on, put a powder on top, and it still shines through. I think I still look very obviously highlighted, and I didn't use an additional highlighter on top of this. So A+ product, I love it so much. And you know, if you want this kind of thing, it's great. I don't think it's necessary in conjunction with these two though. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and until next time, I love you girls so, so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!